19 points in the loss at LSU, and he scored 21 points in the win over McNeese State. So shout out to Patrick Cole, the North Carolina Central Eagles men's basketball team. They are now 7-5 on the season. I think they're going to have a really good season in the MEAC. I'm predicting the MEAC championship for head coach LaVelle Moulton of the Eagles. I think they're going to win that, represent the MEAC with the automatic bid in the NCAA tournament. Side note, North Carolina A&T lost to Rider University over the weekend, 60-59. Come on, Aggies, get it together. But I digress. Now, I just covered in quick, fast, in a hurry fashion NC State, Duke, University of North Carolina Central. Now I'm going to give you a little CIAA action with the Shaw Bears, man. The Shaw men's basketball team snapped a 2-game losing streak with a 75-58 win over Albany in Atlanta, Georgia in the LSEPS Memorial Scholarship Challenge. They improved to 5-5 on the season. Now they have 2 games left to finish out the calendar year, they being the Shaw Bears, and they are in the Shaw U Classic. They're going to take on Benedict and Claflin, 2 HBCUs out of the state of South Carolina. Now Claflin, gotta shout out Claflin, they produced Lou Anderson. Lou Anderson, my head coach when I was at Virginia State University, playing football for the Trojans, winning CIAA championships. Man, it all comes full circle. But I digress. Shaw University, having a pretty good season so far. They're 5-5. They're going to look to finish out this calendar year strong, go into 2016, and hopefully and possibly compete for a CIAA championship. We're going to keep up with all these teams that I mentioned all throughout the season. It's basketball season. Football season is winding down. So I'm going to keep up with those Tar Heels, those Blue Devils, the Wolfpack, the Eagles, and the Shaw Bears. I'm just getting started on the All Things Sport podcast, man. We are jam-packed for this episode. I got to take a commercial break. I got to take a sip, or better yet, a gulp of my Crystal Geyser natural alpine spring water. You know what it is. I don't like purified drinking water. What do I like? I like spring water. And who cares if you don't like it, but I do. Again, I digress. Let me take this commercial break. You're listening to the All Things Sport podcast. I'm Damian Banks. We'll be right back.
What up? This is Pierre Banks, and when I'm back in Boone watching the Mountaineers, my first stop is always Mountaineer Mania. The good folks at Mountaineer Mania have the widest selection of app gear, so you can cheer on the Mountaineers in style. T-shirts, hats, hoodies, sweatshirts, decals, cornhole sets. I mean, if you need it, they've got it. So head on down to Mountaineer Mania at 497 West King Street in Boone and tell them I sent you.
The All Things Sport Podcast.
We go back like spinal cords and car seats.
With Damian Banks and Pierre Banks on Spreaker Radio.
Now, before I talk about the teams that are in bowls in the state of North Carolina, man, let me congratulate the North Carolina High School Athletic Association state champions in high school football for this year, man. Kudos, congratulations to Wake Forest High School out of Wake County, man. Winners of the 4AA championship, 29-0 over Greensboro Page. First high school state championship from a team from Wake County since 1987. Congrats to Wake Forest, man. Congrats also to Greensboro Dudley. They won the 4A championship 54-0 over Cape Fear. Ouch, Cape Fear. Cape Fear, you had a good season, but you ran into a buzzsaw in Greensboro Dudley. Also, congratulations to the 3A champions, South Point. The Red Raiders, 16-7 winners over Rocky Mount. That was a rematch of last season's state championship game, which Rocky Mount beat South Point, so turnabout is fair play. Also, congratulations to the 3AA winners, Weddington. They beat Easton Guilford 33-20. Congratulations for the 4th straight season to the 2AA champion, Shelby. Lions, they beat Northside Jacksonville 28-6. The 2A champion, Reedville, they win over Jonathan A. Holmes High School 58-12. And the 1A winner, the 1A winner, Murphy, 15-14 over Plymouth High School. And the 1AA winner, Wallace Rose Hill, 30-7 over West Montgomery. Congratulations to all those kids, man. I remember when I was in high school, I didn't win a state championship, won a conference championship, but wasn't fortunate enough to make it that far in the state playoffs. Congratulations to those kids, man. You guys will never forget those state championship wins. And we are back. Welcome to the All Things Sport Podcast. Again, I'm your host, Damian Banks. Follow your boy on Instagram and Twitter at Sports by Damien. Go to the website, banksboy.com. Download all the media content, the sports variety that your heart could ever desire. This portion of the All Things Sport podcast is brought to you by Triangle Entertainment Worldwide. Now, if you're an aspiring artist, a rapper, a singer, a dancer, a poet, and you know it, whatever you want to do artistically speaking, man, I think that Triangle Entertainment Worldwide can help you achieve your goals. Triangle Entertainment Worldwide provides so many services like video and photo shoot production, talent management consultation, label shopping, performance bookings, CD duplication and artwork, Reverb Nation services, logo designs, press kit creations, bio write-ups, legal services, radio placements, production placements. They'll even host your mixtape. If you need it, Triangle Entertainment Worldwide can provide that service for you. Call 704-774-6212 or go to the website teworldwide.com. Tell them Sports by Damien sent you. All right, man. Now, before the break, I gave you a little bit of ACC hoop action, CIAA hoops action, man. I told you also before the break I was watching the Cowboys and the Buccaneers playing right now. The Bucs are in playoff contention in the NFC South, trying to keep pace with the Atlanta Falcons. The Cowboys, they're trying to win the NFC East division. Real tough division this year. The Giants are playing well. The Redskins are playing well. Cowboys are playing well. Eagles started off hot. They're not good anymore. The Eagles season, for all you Philadelphia Eagles fans, if I could talk about it for a second. The Eagles season, Jay-Z said it best. They had a spark when they started, but now they just garbage. Anyway, I digress. The Cowboys are now up 17-6, almost halftime, in their game on Sunday Night Football with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But I digress, man. So before the break, I talked a little bit about, local hoop action, Duke, NC State, UNC, Central, and Shaw. Now I'm going to switch gears and go to football, man, because we are still, during football season. It's winding down in the football season right now. It's bowl mania for colleges, winding down for the playoffs in the NFL, and we also have the Final Four playoffs for college football. I'm going to stick to the local teams for our bowls and give big kudos and big shout outs to the teams that are making bowls this year from the area. We all know that UNC, they're going bowling. They're going to be taking on Stanford in El Paso, Texas in the Sun Bowl. NC State, they are also going bowling in Shreveport, Louisiana, going to be taking on Vanderbilt University. And also from the great state of North Carolina, we had two teams that are going bowling. They played their games already. One team was out of the Sun Belt Conference, Appalachian State. They were taking on Toledo in the Camellia Bowl. We're going to talk about them in a little bit. But I'm going to begin with the North Carolina Central Eagles, winners of the MEAC Championship, boasting a 9-2 record for the second annual Celebration Bowl, where they faced the Grambling State Tigers. Now, Central had a very interesting season. Started off the season 0-2. Fought back to reel off 9 straight victories, including the regular season finale win over rival North Carolina A&T to win the MEAC championship to represent the MEAC in the Celebration Bowl. Every year, starting last year, the winner of the MEAC conference and the winner of the SWAC conference play each other in the Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl. So the Eagles won the MEAC championship this season, and the Grambling State Tigers, they won the SWAC championship. Grambling actually overcame a 17-point deficit in the championship game over Alcorn State to come back and win that game. So coming into this game, man, nobody really gave Central a chance. They were like 13.5-point underdogs. And that's kind of disrespectful if you ask me. A 9-win team, a conference championship team being a 13.5-point underdog. I don't get it, but I don't work in Vegas. I don't, come up with the lines for these games. So they were a 13.5-point underdog, and I think the Eagles took that to heart. They came out, played really strong defense against Grambling, pretty much shut Grambling's vaulted offense down all game. The first half was a defensive struggle. I think the Eagles left a lot on the field in the first half. They left a lot of points on the field. It was 3-0 at halftime in favor of North Carolina Central. And I know that head coach Jerry Mack was kicking himself, and the other coaches were pretty worried that Central only scored 3 points, man, because they had plenty of opportunities to put more points on the board. But too many drop passes, too many turnovers, too many missed opportunities led to a 3-0 lead at halftime for North Carolina Central. So as expected, Grambling State came out in the second half and made their adjustments. They drove right down the field the first possession of the second half and scored a touchdown and went up 7-3. Promptly kicked a field goal to go up 10-3. It was 10-3 for most of the second half. Central made mistake after mistake, penalties, missed opportunities, drop passes. Quarterback Malcolm Bell, 2 interceptions. All MEAC performing quarterback Malcolm Bell, uncharacteristically, 2 interceptions. Mike Jones, first team all MEAC defensive back and return guy. He fumbled on a punt return, uncharacteristically. Countless drop passes by the Eagles wide receivers, man. I knew that it would come back to bite them in the butt, and it did. They were losing the game 10-3. But in true North Carolina Central fashion, they didn't give up. They fought back. Late in the fourth quarter, on a crazy, beautiful scramble play, Malcolm Bell found senior wide receiver Quentin Atkinson for a 39-yard touchdown catch with about 2 minutes and 15 seconds left to play. And one would assume that would tie the game at 10. But it's the Celebration Bowl, and no pun intended, Quentin Atkinson got a 15-yard excessive celebration penalty for taking off his helmet and throwing up the hooks. He is a bruh. Shout out to the bros of Omega Psi University, man. Particularly the ones at Virginia State University in the New Psi chapter. But I digress. The most boneheaded play of the game, I gotta say it's boneheaded, man, because it was. I know he's a young player. He's a bruh. And, I need to uplift him, but I got to keep it all the way 100 with him. I got to keep it real. It was a pretty boneheaded play. If you're going to take your helmet off, man, wait till you get to the sideline, man. So you get a 15-yard excessive celebration penalty. You have to move back the extra point, and you know what was going to happen next. North Carolina Central kicker Brandon McLaren got his extra point blocked. Final score 10-9. Grambling State wins the Celebration Bowl. And the Eagles leave Atlanta, Georgia with a sour taste in their mouth, knowing that they had every opportunity to win that game. And they left so many chances, left so many points on the field, so many missed opportunities, man, too many mistakes. You can't win. You can't beat a good football team like Grambling State making all those mistakes. So head coach Jerry Mack, congratulations to you, man. Kudos to you and the North Carolina Central program. But I know you're going to be thinking about this one long and hard all off season long. But you're going to hit the recruiting trail, get back to the drawing board, and try to repeat the MEAC championship next season and try to represent the MEAC in the Celebration Bowl once again. But again, man, North Carolina Central falls to Grambling State 9-10 in the second annual Celebration Bowl. Moving on to the other North Carolina school who is going bowling, and they had their bowl game over the weekend. The Appalachian State Mountaineers out of Boone, North Carolina. They beat the Toledo Rockets 31-28 in pretty dramatic fashion. Quarterback Taylor Lamb had an outstanding game for the Mountaineers. The Mountaineers' rushing attack was on full display. I told you in the previous podcast that if Appalachian State couldn't do anything else on offense, they could run the damn football. And what did they do against Toledo? They ran the damn football. Quarterback Taylor Lamb, he actually ran for 119 yards. Actually, no, Taylor Lamb had 126 yards rushing. The quarterback did. Now, Sun Belt Offensive Player of the Year, Jalen Moore, he was limited to 35 yards rushing. But, who came to the rescue for the Mountaineers? The all-time leading rusher in Appalachian State history, Marcus Cox, had a game-high 143 yards on the ground with 1 touchdown. Shout out to Marcus Koch, man. He had a rough senior season. Had a high ankle sprain. Missed several games during the season. Jalen Moore stepped in his place.